To be a better portrait photographer, you just have to be a better person. That means just being kind, being curious, listening deeply to whatever the person's saying. If they're saying, I really feel like I'm overweight or something, just pay attention to that and don't say, you look fine, because they were saying it for a reason. So just, I think connecting with the person is really, really important.
Struggling to design the business of your dreams? Welcome to Designing Business, the podcast where we go beyond beautiful spaces and dive into what it really takes to build them. I'm Risha Walden. I'm an interior designer, founder of Walden Interiors, and your host. Every week, I sit down with brilliant minds behind the scenes, contractors, builders, architects, artisans, fellow creatives, to talk business. We explore how they got started, what keeps them going, and how they built businesses that not only succeed, but inspire. Subscribe now and join me each week as we design the business together. This week, I'm joined by Maryanne Hogarth. She is a portrait photographer, but not just someone who takes a picture, but someone who unravels, in this case, women. Unravels them and shows them who they truly are and all their complexities. She does portraits not just of women, but she does families and men and kids. But her specialty is women. And one thing that we have in common is sharing the beauty. Something that I love to talk about, how she does that. It's funny, very similar to what I do. It's about clients being seen, being heard, and showing them who they truly are. Maryanne, why did you start your business?
Well,
There's no wrong answer. No wrong answer on this one.
so I've been doing photography for a long time,
Mhm.
over 50 years
Yeah.
in the
Wow.
world. Just kidding. uh, I love taking pictures, and I have to say, when you love doing something and you've been doing it for a long time, you get kind of good at it.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Oh my goodness,
And,
50 years.
and
Yeah.
so people started to pay me for it, basically. And I started to do it. I started to get paid when I was photographing families when my daughter was young. And so I focused my attention on the family. But then as my daughter grew older, I started to focus my attention on the mother because I was getting older too. And I was starting to realize that women were a very overlooked population.
Mhm.
Yeah, we give it so much of our energy and our time, so I wanted to help the mother feel seen and celebrated too, and so that's when I started to, focus on the mother 15 years ago, and that's what I've been doing ever since.
So just purely women.
Because women have children in their lives, so I
Okay.
do a lot of mother and daughter sessions. I love that session. I do family sessions still.
You do. Mhm.
I love photographing families. I've photographed thousands of families, believe it or not,
I believe it.
and, every single family has a different dynamic.
Yeah.
So I'm fascinated by people and how they interact with each other. I do personal branding. Yeah, so a woman is not just a woman. She's a business owner.
So
She's
many layers.
so many layers, so many layers. So I just that's but I love to photograph women. I photograph men too, and children. But I am particularly fond of photographing a woman.
Hmm.
Mm.
So what impact do you want to leave?
I want to help women and, well, everybody, but women in particular, feel better about themselves. I think if I could leave that impact, then I will have left the world a better place than it was when I arrived because I think that in order to feel better about ourselves, we have to it's like a life is a process of self-discovery, right?
Mhm.
And so I think of my portrait experience as also a process of self-discovery. It's not just a one and done kind of a photo session. There's a consultation and then there's the hair and the makeup and there's the photo shoot and then there's the reveal when I reveal the photos back. And so that I spend quite a bit of time with someone. And so that whole process I think helps a woman just reflect little bit more deeply on who she is, and so when she can feel better about herself, through these photos, I feel like I've done a good job, so, yeah, that's the impact I wanna leave.
So, you said, you said there's a whole process, which I get, and I can assume, I can see that in the when you're taking photographs,
Mm,
there's a whole process too, because you don't just get from A to Z in one photo. Like,
mm,
there's a process of probably unpeeling as people start to feel more comfortable,
exactly.
and then like, oh, I don't want to do that because I'm going to look silly, I'm going to look dumb, or it's like,
Mhm.
and I'm sure that that in itself is a process too. So they're learning about themselves through that process.
Exactly. Yeah, but I'm also guiding them through that process. I'm not
Right.
expecting them to just do it on their
Of
own.
course not. Yeah.
So so because I have a lot of experience, I'm a pretty confident photographer, and so
Sure.
that allows the person in front of my lens to trust me and to relax. And through relaxing, I think that was a key point,
Yeah.
then you can let your genuine self come through. It's just like this conversation, if I were really uptight, then I probably wouldn't say anything, but I feel very relaxed, and so then I can just trust that you'll guide me in this conversation, and then I guide the person in front of my lens through a journey. Mm,
So it's that trust, having the client
mm,
having the trust with you,
mm-hmm,
and trust that you're going to like take care in a sense,
mm-hmm,
right?
yeah.
Because you're looking to bring like the best part of them,
Mm,
the, and I mean, I don't know about you, but I feel like I don't always see my best parts.
mm.
And women, I think are very critical of
Yes,
themselves.
yeah, we're very critical of ourselves. I mean, how often do we actually look in the mirror, right? I mean, look at ourselves, right? I mean, how often do we actually like see ourselves?
Right.
We look in our mirror in the mirror, and then we maybe glance at our
Like,
reflection, but
oh,
we
my
don't.
hair needs to be
We are,
fixed. I gotta
yes,
put lipstick
I know,
on.
we're always
Right.
so critical. So but I look at you, right? And then I see the person that I really see you,
Right.
but you don't really see you. So if I can take a picture of who I'm looking at and then
Right.
show you back, like,
This is what I
this is
see.
this beautiful,
Yeah.
confident, really interesting woman that I see. And then can you see her too? And then you can use this. Like I think of photographs as like sort of like vision boards in a way. You can they're reminders of that, because when you are in a portrait session, there's these confident poses, and I take a picture, and then you can remember that feeling of being confident in your body through this photograph. So it's like it's a reminder. Yeah.
That's so interesting. I
Mm,
find that really interesting. And, it's just funny because that's exactly how I feel about like working with my clients.
mm,
And something I think about a lot is that the home is a reflection, of them looking at themselves, but in a different, on a different medium. Like the space is a reflection of like who they are. They're not just, and we were saying this prior to getting on and taping, it was like we are all complex layers, right?
mm-hmm.
And so it's not just that they're a woman, their mother or sister, aunt, a friend, a dancer, a tennis player, or a cook, or whatever all those aspects are, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're saying like, oh, like you show them the picture, that they can be reminded about all these things, and that's what my spaces are supposed to meant to do. It's so interesting because that's
That's very
how
smart.
I can let someone know that I see them,
Yeah.
and that I see my client. This is who you really are, and that
Mhm.
they can be reminded when they come into their space. Wow, this is who I am because
Well, and it's also your home. If you feel at home in your home,
right
that's a sign of having done a good job. If you
for
design,
me.
yeah, for you,
Yes,
if you designed a home where someone feels at home. But for me,
yes.
I think if you feel at home in your body, in yourself, in who you are, then I think I feel like I've done a good job. If you can see that in your
If
own
you can
photo,
see that in the photo,
yeah.
right? So are they surprised?
You know, uh, They look at well, I used to do my photo reveals in person, and that was really fabulous. I had this thing called a wall of fame, and so they would look at their photos, but they were always facing their photos, and then I would see them from behind, and
Oh, you never.
I saw their excitement through their body, but now I do it through Zoom, and so I can actually see their faces, like, light up, and that's kinda fun.
Wow.
I know it is really exciting.
Yeah,
It's fantastic to see them go, "Oh my gosh."
right.
So, yeah.
Yeah, because you've touched them, right?
Yeah, and they see themselves maybe in a way that they haven't seen themselves,
I
and
love that.
yeah, it's a really beautiful moment. That's one of my favorite moments is the reveal. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. So, what's one of your favorite client stories?
Okay, so I guess my most recent clients are always often my most favorite because that's who I remember the most. So, not last week, but the week before, I had a woman named Marianne.
Oh,
So we were the
there you
two
are.
Mariannes. If you're watching, Marianne, I love you. She Googled me. She found me through Google, and I have to say she was my ideal client because she was very open. She had what I had written about on my website. I help women step into their confidence, one portrait at a time, and it helped. It resonated with her, and so it helped that she enjoyed the mission, and so she was very open minded. So she loved her shoot. She sent me a text. I
Oh,
just like a couple days ago, and oh so damn, you're good at what you do! Exclamation. Absolutely incredible. I feel invincible. Heart, heart,
wow.
heart. So, if I can help someone feel invincible, gosh, I
Wow,
know.
that's powerful.
I know. We all need to feel invincible,
Right.
really, these days.
Well, and you saw that. And she probably wasn't seeing that because,
Mm,
those kind of feelings like that aren't always like we were saying, women are so critical of
mm.
themselves. So we're more likely to go to that critical side and oh, my skirt's too tight, my shoes are too green, my hair is too blah. And there's like, no, like this is who I see.
Yeah, and so she just wrote a book, and this is gonna help launch her website and her book, and
Fantastic.
so I think as an author you're putting something out into the world that, you might be feel a little bit vulnerable or it's like, whoa, people are going to read this. So, maybe she was, feeling a little uncertain, but now she's like, heck, I wrote this for a reason, right? I'm
Right.
invincible.
Yeah.
If they don't love it, that's
It
okay. If
doesn't
if
matter.
they love
Yeah.
it, that's even better. So, yeah.
Right.
So,
Yeah. Hmm.
yeah, that's what I love about these things, what I do, how I can help people just feel better about themselves, feel better about how they maneuver through the world and live a better life.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Live a better life. I mean, life is great.
Life is great.
Yeah.
That's an interesting thing. Life is great.
Life is great. It
Life
is great.
not
And
every
like we want to find it all the time. I mean, it is hard. I'm not saying life is easy.
mm,
It's
mm,
great. It's also hard. And so in that hardness, we often find the
mm.
like the hard, like the tough part. But
The
but
jewels on the other side of
right,
that mud, right? You
right.
gotta push your way through, and then
Yeah.
you're the
And
lotus,
and
and
life is great. Like how
life is
great
great.
even to have the opportunity to be able to do that and to do what we do or
True.
be here where we are.
That's
Like,
true. Yeah. Yeah. I feel lucky that I have, found something I love to do. So, in that
yes.
sense, life is great because I think
Hmm.
for a lot of people, life isn't great because they haven't tapped into that potential that they have. So,
Right.
if we can help people.
Find that potential, find that beauty,
Well,
find that
it's all inside of us, it's just a matter of
it's there.
stillness,
Y-
just, like, listening to it.
yeah,
Mm,
absolutely.
mm.
So, what's the biggest mistake you see your clients making?
Oh, the biggest mistake I guess the biggest mistake, I think that people think that they can only allow themselves to be photographed in one way, like, for personal branding.
Right.
Women in particular, we have to justify the expense, right? Uh,
Right.
so I
Uh,
say, "No, no, no." We mentioned the multifaceted women that we are, and so I think it's important to celebrate all sides of ourselves. So I think it's okay to well, the personal branding photo, I think it's important. It's like your best self, your first
sure.
impression. But also there's the softer side that deserves to be seen, and then there's
Mhm.
the vulnerable side and the commanding side and then the thoughtful side and the motherly side. So there's all these different aspects of ourselves that I think deserve to be photographed, not just the business side.
Right.
Yeah. So I think that's the biggest mistake. Yeah, that they can only show up
One way.
yeah, one way, and I think just show up in life one way too, right? I think
Mhm.
people think that they should always be polished and perfect, and, if you're always polished, then like a stone, you can't get through. It's like you gotta be porous and just let life just
Be
like
flow through you.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, yeah, breathe through life, and then same with the photograph, just, like, you
Right,
have all the
right.
expressions photographed.
Yeah, yeah. I love that because we want to be seen as polished and perfect and stuff, but there's no perfect.
Well, no, there is no perfect.
And
Yeah.
yeah, okay, maybe you can be perfect in the sense your hair is all there or whatever, but there might be like that may not be perfect when you go to like spend time with your children. Like that's not perfect, right? Because
Mm.
then it doesn't allow you to do the things that you want to do, like get down on the floor and play with them because you're like, oh, my hair,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
It's not,
yeah.
that's not perfect for you for that kind of situation.
Yeah. So get down on the floor. Yeah, I mean, I get people on the floor all the time to photograph them.
Right.
But in terms of perfection, yeah, it is great to have a photo where your best self, your best, when you
Sure.
really look great.
Right.
That's fantastic. And I do those. I think in the beginning when the hair is really
Right.
looking great, but then because I do wind a lot, and so it kind of gets a little messy, and so that's when the messiness comes in towards the end when the expressions are a little bit more um spontaneous.
Yeah.
So I
That's the vision because
mm.
it's not just one way because it can't be. You can't just be this one thing. It's impossible. Life is not like that.
No. Oh gosh, yeah, because I think with every person that we meet, we're a different person, right?
Mhm.
So we're always in we're always changing and growing, and if we're not changing and growing, then what's the other option? Dying, right?
Well, that's it. What else are we doing?
Yeah.
We don't want to just be one way. The world is not just one way.
Mm-mm.
There's so many experiences, so many things to experience on different levels and different places with different people. Like it's not just one thing. Very
Have different
interesting.
things.
Not just one thing. What's the biggest misconception people have about your business? Did I ask you that?
I think so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that
Like
they
we get I think we're getting so lost in the vision. Like, cause I can see it. Like I'm seeing this, like these different layers, of everybody. Um, but I see it with women too, because and you're talking about professional women that have to show up one way and
Mm.
be one way. But really that's not, that's not the thing that makes it great.
Oh,
You know what I
no,
mean?
it's
Like
it's their
there's,
humanness if you're a business person and you're just thinking that you have to be polished all the time, you're not gonna attract your ideal client because they really wanna see the person that
right.
they're gonna be working with. So, if you're kinda quirky, then show your quirkiness. I think that you're doing what you believe in because of all the colors, right?
Right. Oh god, yeah, I love
It's
color,
not
as
just
you
like
can see.
a white backdrop,
No.
right, with a bookshelf, with your heavily curated books, right? It's
Right.
it's you know, it's you can curate to a point, but then you just gotta just be yourself. That's the only way to do it.
Yeah, I love it.
I forgot the
So,
question already.
okay,
That's okay.
now here's a
Okay.
question I haven't asked. What is the biggest misconception people have about your business?
Hmm, about my business.
Yeah.
Hmm, that maybe let's see, my business, that they have to be confident when they arrive at the front door, maybe? I think, people arrive a little nervous, but the confidence is something that it happens organically during the photo shoot. So Michelle Obama said she experienced her way into confidence, and that's how I think of the photo shoot because everyone feels really self-conscious when they sit down first, right? It's
Mhm.
just natural tendency to feel a little nervous to be seen
Right.
and to be actually looking or
Looked
having
at.
having yeah.
Somebody looking at you
Yeah,
like, "Oh,
exactly.
do they see that zit on my face or that hair on my chin?" Or, like
Yeah.
I can see as you're saying this, I can see that's what I would be like,
Yeah. So
"Right."
people are very self-conscious, but
Yeah.
I think they're also just not used to someone looking at them for a long period of time,
Yeah.
right? I think we all long to be seen, really,
Yes.
and so once you get over that feeling a little, "Maybe I shouldn't be doing this," but, just like, "Okay, I deserve this. I deserve to be the center of attention," if
Mhm.
someone's, like, doing my makeup, and then the hairstylist does my hair, and then Marianne's gonna she's
Bring it
already
all
co
together,
she's
right.
curated my wardrobe, and then she's gonna be posing me, and she's getting really close and moving the hair, so it's like it's sort of a very intimate process.
Yeah.
I'm actually, this
Yeah.
close or closer, you know,
To
to my clients.
yeah.
I'm often, like, moving here. So it's a very intimate experience, and we're not used to that. We're not accustomed to that,
Right.
and I think that through that trust, then my client becomes more relaxed, more confident, and that's when the confidence shines through the photos. So I think the biggest misconception is that someone has to arrive feeling confident and perfect already.
Right.
It's it's a process. And then they always leave feeling a lot more confident
I
afterwards.
bet
Yeah.
because
Hmm.
they've worked through it, right? That's how you get confidence is actually working through it and realizing that A, you can do it
Mm.
and you didn't fall over and,
Hmm.
break your neck, right?
Yeah, and if you did kind of like get into a position that just didn't feel right, then hey, that's okay. You just move into another position
Right.
and not do that position again. And yeah, it's just learning and realizing just you can just navigate your way through anything. Really, that's what confidence is.
Yeah, it's
Mhm.
true. It is true. What advice would you give a professional just starting out in your space?
To be a better photographer, well, obviously you have to know how to use your gear. That's important.
Yeah,
And then
that
you
would
and if
be
you're going to be a
important.
business person, you have to know how to run a business. But to be a better portrait photographer, you just have to be a better person. And that means
What
just
does that mean? Yeah.
that means just being kind, being curious, listening deeply to whatever the person's saying. If they're saying, "I really feel like I'm overweight or something," just pay attention to that and don't say, "Ah, you look fine," because they were saying it for a reason. So just I think connecting with the person is really, really important. So that is what I would suggest someone do is just become a better person, become um, just more receptive to what people are going through, more empathetic,
Hmm.
and yeah, be there for them. Give them your full presence.
Yeah.
Mm.
What keeps you inspired to continue?
I love to meet people. I love to hear their stories. I love to look at people. Um, I'm always looking at art, like these interesting men
In my life?
in your life. Yeah, they're very colorful. I'm
Hmm.
always inspired by paintings and different interpretations of the human face, of the body. But I think ultimately what keeps me most inspired is just meeting interesting people and making friendships. I've made some really great friends through what I do,
Hmm.
and it's just people that I might not have met otherwise. So it's just very enriching. That's what keeps me inspired. Yeah.
Well, you're getting in such intimate quarters with people, which
Mhm.
is very similar what I do with my clients. I have to get intimate with them to know them, to be able to help them,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
Like I can't I'm just not there. Yeah, I can make a space beautiful, but what's beautiful to them is very different than what would be beautiful to their neighbor or to their aunt or whoever, right?
Mhm.
So, in order for me to do that, I have to find out who they are, what they want, what their needs are, how they live their life. And it sounds to me like that's the same for you. You have to find out who they are so you can, how do you bring that out? Like, how can
Yeah.
you
How to cook.
bring,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I asked them, "How do you want to show up in your photos?" And I try to get beyond the obvious, and because everyone wants to look
I want to look
Uh,
fabulous
yeah, and I
and
wanna
younger.
and pe well, confident and approachable, and I think those are wonderful because
Okay.
everyone wants to look confident and approachable
Right.
in a photo. But like as I said before, there's all these other sides to it.
Yeah.
So that's what I, I try to coax out of them. But yeah, I think you and I have something in common that we believe in. You've mentioned beauty and function, right? Those are the
Yeah.
values
Mhm.
of your work.
Mhm.
The word beauty, I think, is a very high value to what I do, and it's just a value, a high value spiritually,
Yes. Yes.
right? And so beauty is something that is so awe-inspiring, and then we wonder, why does it create this feeling of awe? But I think there's something that it just fills in that makes us feel more whole. When we can see
Mhm.
something that just sort of fits together, that's beautiful. That's beauty.
Yeah.
What do you think beauty is? Or how do you define it?
Well, I mean, I agree with you. It's the awe. I just, we live in a beautiful world.
Mm,
I mean, we managed to mess it up a lot, but like if we look at the natural world, what part of that is not beautiful?
yeah.
Even in the, darkest winter, there's beautiful beauty in the shape, in the colors, or even the lack of color.
Mhm,
And we've created these boxes to live in to protect ourselves from the elements, right?
mm,
Um, but we're meant to be part of the natural world. So how do we bring those elements of the
mm,
natural world
mhm,
in
mm.
and create the beauty inside these boxes? Because we could live in I mean, same thing. We could live in a cardboard box, or we could live in a Tiffany box. Very different things, right?
Yeah.
Um, I think most people would rather live in a Tiffany's box than in a cardboard box.
Mm,
It's better for your spirit, your mental capacity,
mhm,
just for your soul. We need to be surrounded by beauty. We're meant to, because that's why we're put on earth, to be here, to appreciate this world and to
Did you know that
connect to
humans
it.
are the only species that sit and, look at a sunset and go, "God, that sunset's so beautiful." I mean, you don't see bears going, "Oh my gosh, that's such a beautiful sunset," right? Or I don't think so.
Well,
I'm
I
not a
don't know.
bear,
Well, I don't know,
but I think,
because
yeah, humans
that's
are put here to
we
appreciate
are.
beauty.
We're here to definitely appreciate it, and we can't always, because it's negative 19 degrees and we need to protect ourselves. But like, how do we bring that in? And so for me, that's the beauty of that. How do I bring the color in, the texture, the shapes, you know, the aspects of natural surroundings, and bring them into our world, into my
Mm.
space to create. It doesn't have to replicate. It just has to, what's that? Like, sing the melody of it, right?
Yeah, and like we said, everybody has a different definition of beauty, so I
Right.
think it's just feeling at home with yourself.
Yeah.
That's I think when we feel our most beautiful, right?
Right.
Because we know that there are some people who aren't, like, conventionally beautiful, but they're really beautiful because they're so comfortable
Yeah.
in their own skin.
Yeah.
So,
Is there anything about yourself that you're working on changing?
changing. So, I don't think I'm working on changing something, but I'm working on remembering something.
Oh,
Yeah.
what are you working on
S
remembering?
Well, I used to do a lot of public speaking.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm remembering how that felt. So, thank you for giving me this opportunity to actually do some speaking, because it's another way, again, to learn when you can actually say something out loud
Mhm.
and teach. I was a docent at the Asian Art Museum in San
Oh,
Francisco, so I loved to introduce people to these exceptionally magnificent sculptures of Cambodian art, let's say from 1400s, and people didn't really know about that, so I could teach them about it, but it was also just they would get excited about it,
right,
and then I could, there was this exchange of energy,
right.
and so what I do, I there is an exchange of energy in my business, my photography, but I think I would like to expand to include workshops where I can guide women, a group of women, through meditations or visualizations or exercises so they can embody the things that I've been talking about
Right.
and then photograph them right at that moment when they're feeling this sense of power or sense of softness or whatever it is in a group setting. I think that would be kind of fun. So that's what I'm working on changing
I
or
like that.
remembering.
Yeah, that's fabulous. What do you think needs to be improved in your industry?
I think it kind of goes back to what I said about what a new professional in my industry should do is be a better person. I think basically paid more attention to the person that's in front of your lens and not just think of them as a person in front of your lens. This is,
So less transactional. This is
yeah,
not just a
yeah.
transaction. This
They're
is like a
a vulnerable
yeah,
position to be in front of your lens, and so make it as special of an experience for them as possible.
right. Because it's not just as you said at the beginning. It's not just about you come in, I take photos of you.
Right.
It's not just that spot. It's like you have a whole process, and in that, it's an unraveling, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not a transactional thing. It's in order to get there, you have to do this whole
Mm.
process, and they have to go through a process themselves,
It's a wasted
right?
opportunity if you don't grow, if neither of you grow from that experience,
Mhm.
It's like an hour of your life or more than an
Or
hour.
more, sounds like.
It's a half a day.
Yeah, I was gonna
So if
say.
you're gonna put this much energy into it, then you should grow as a photographer, but they should grow as a person.
Right.
So
Yeah, I like that because that's I mean,
yeah,
same in my industry.
we have limited
I've
hours in our life.
Yeah,
Make everyone count.
yeah. Well, is that what you would tell your 20-year-old self?
You know, I would say to my 20-year-old self, I
What would you tell
she
yourself?
was really I liked my 20. I'd say, "Marianne, I think you're as adorable," you know? I think that, there are moments where you might feel like you're a little lost and that's okay because even if you have these little detours in life, it's those moments where you're gonna really grow the most. And so trust that if someone ever says, and someone will say that
Yeah.
you're off track or what path are you going on, just know that that you're on your path. That's the most important thing. There's no such thing as a right path. It's just you're on your path, and that path is going to lead you to a fantastic life. So I'd say, Marianne, 20-year-old Marianne, I think you're doing great.
I love that. That's
Yeah.
great. That's great. Well, Marianne, thanks so much for
Yeah.
spending the time, sharing with me, sharing energy, talking about beauty. Love
Mm.
that. If people want to get a hold of you, where should they go?
My website, pretty much.
Website.
Yeah.
Okay.
MaryanneTengHogarth.com.
And
Marianne with a Y.
okay, we'll put all that information below. So if you've enjoyed listening to Marianne, you want to reach out to her, please do so. Well, it'll be in the notes. And if you're interested in these kind of conversations, check out our next video that's coming up right over here, somewhere over here. Thanks.
You're welcome. Thank you.